Hello, welcome to our first video where I'll be showing you my collection of art supplies. One thing you must know is that these supplies are very affordable and beginner friendly because, like you, I'm just starting out my journey too. After deciding to face my fears and start creating art, I knew that the next thing to do was to get me some supplies. But I didn't know where to start from. With this newfound passion, I was stuck between wanting to create masterpieces immediately and actually creating anything. It took me a while to really understand that art is a journey and that I needed to take things one step at a time. So from experience, I realized that these are the most essential and basic supplies for every artist, especially beginners. Hi, my name is Abby, also known as The Age, and this is the first and most important supply for every beginner artist is a sketchbook. There are different kinds of sketchbooks of varying shapes, sizes, paper weights, color, texture, and bindings. For someone that is just starting out here, the most expensive one should not be your first choice. Go for something you can afford and a size that you can carry with you to anywhere, like the one I have here. A sketchbook is a safe space where you can dump all your ideas, experiment with different materials and subjects. Just having a sketchbook is enough to boost your creativity. A sketchbook is also used as a memory log where you can look back on your progress and see how far you've come. It's way better than using pieces of papers because, of course, papers might get missing or worn out or soaked in your pocket by rain. Just saying. One of these days, you might even turn an idea in your sketchbook into a finished piece. The second supply on my list are pencils. Pencils are very beginner friendly. I recommend starting out with the regular HB pencil. It's kind of like a middle ground between the B and the H series. But if you want to take things further and experiment with different line weights, then you can get pencils from the H and B series. The H pencils are a lot thinner, preferable for sharp and angular strokes. They're also used to make foundation sketches because they are really light. The B pencils are a complete opposite. They are soft, they are thick, they are weighty, and they are perfect for shading. So yeah. Before I continue this video, I need you to know that if you had just one sketchbook and one pencil, you are absolutely ready to start your creative journey. You don't need to burden yourself trying to get all these other supplies before you start creating. A pencil and a sketchbook are all you need to start. As you keep creating, you begin to see the need for all these other supplies through experience. So let's continue. The third thing we have here are erasers for regular cleaning. I highly recommend using non-dust erasers like this. Not the erasers we use in primary school, please. Those ones are very dusty and stressful to work with. The other kind of eraser that I use is the kneaded eraser. This eraser can be molded into whatever shape and form. It works by picking up pigments off the paper. Since it can be molded, it's used to erase areas of very fine detail. It's very versatile and I highly recommend getting one. The more you keep drawing, the less lead you have to work with, which is why you need a knife and a sharpener. They are both sharpening tools, but with different advantages depending on what you want to achieve. While the sharpener is quicker and more convenient for everyday use, using a knife allows you more precise control over the sharpness, the shape, and the length of your lead. There are so many kinds of pens that artists use. Ballpoint pens, which are the most common, gel pens, roller tip pens, micron, brush pens, fountain pens. The list goes on and on. You are probably wondering why you need pens when you have all these pencils already. Pens are great tools to help you let go of perfection, which is a common trait of a beginner artist. Because pens cannot be cleaned, you will have to live with every mark that you make. And this helps you become more confident and intentional with your strokes. You can go with any pen of your choice actually, but personally I use ballpoint pen, gel pens, and roller tip pens. I recently got this micron and brush pen. I am yet to try them, but I look forward to seeing how these work. Also, remember to buy your pens you refill just in case you run out of ink. The next supply we have here is the meter rule. I use this when I'm trying to achieve accuracy in my lines, like when I'm laying a foundation for a perspective drawing, you know, that kind of stuff, or when I'm trying to get my proportions right. Don't be ashamed of using a ruler when you need to. Even pros use rulers, so I highly recommend getting one. We have the blending stump. A blending stump is just a stick of tightly rolled up soft paper with two pointed ends. It is used to blend or smudge graphite, charcoal, or similar mediums for cases where I need certain areas of my work to blend out, or I'm trying to achieve a certain consistency. Instead of using my fingers, which I will not lie, I used to do before, I just use one of these back and forth lightly until the tones blend together. It's also used to create softer lines and edges. So I got this set of 6, and these come in different sizes. This was a game changer for me, so I highly recommend getting these. The next supply here, probably my favorite, are highlighter pens. Sometimes it gets boring just making monochrome art all the time, which is why I have these to like spice things up for me. It's like having the full rainbow in your hand. Any drawing that benefits from bright colors, they're a perfect candidate for highlighters. Words of the famous blogger. I use this for my abstract art, for flowers, for faces. The tips are shaped such that you can achieve different line thicknesses. Speaking of colors, if you're into painting, keep watching this video. I have just the thing for you. The next thing we have here is the white marker pen. White marker pen is used to add highlights or extra details to your art, like adding highlights to eyes or showing the lighting on a surface. This gives your art an extra or more realistic feel, so I highly recommend this. So I have this pencil case. It's called a pencil case, but I use it for more than pencils. Essentially, what it does is that it protects your materials from damage. It is also great for carrying on-the-go art supplies, so that you have the basic things you need in one place when you go out. Most of the art supplies that we've just talked about can all fit into this pencil case, and that is probably the most convenient thing to happen to me as an artist, so I definitely recommend having this. If you are starting out as a painter, you're going to need painting supplies, and the first one on the list is the actual paint. There is various kinds of paint actually, like gouache, oil paint, watercolor, acrylic. The one that I have is watercolor paint. If you're into watercolor, you should know that watercolors come in pans and in tubes. The pans hold dry paint that is activated by water, while the tube contains the liquid and pigmented paint. The pans are beginner friendly and they are mobile, but I got this because they are quite pigmented. They were quite affordable too. You need paint brushes to be able to use your paint, either of natural or artificial material. I got this set of 16 pieces, and these are artificial, but they are very soft. They come in different shapes, and of course they have different functions. The thicker ones are used for filling in, while the thinner ones are used for details. All these brushes have names. If you want us to talk about their names and their specific uses in another video, let us know in the comment section. So the next thing you need as a painter is a paint palette. You can definitely improvise, maybe with a plate or pans or something, but having the actual palette always has a different feel to it. There are different kinds of palettes though, but I got this one because it's very small and it is mobile. Basically, you use this for thinning the colors before you apply it, and also for mixing and blending to achieve a desired shade or hue. So painters, you need a paint palette. Another important supply for painters is a Cellot Tape or masking tape. A masking tape is used to create clean edges or mask off areas when painting. Also use this to attach my paper to a wooden board if I want to paint outside my sketchbook. Luckily for me, the sheets of my sketchbook are detachable, so when doing this, you have to press the tape on the paper firmly so that the paint does not go underneath it. Also, when you're removing it, do it carefully to avoid tearing your paper. The last supply on our list is an art bag. This is not really a supply though for creating art, but still it's very important to you as an artist. Having an art bag is great for keeping your supplies in one easy to find place. As a beginner, you don't need anything expensive. You can empty some towels and use the bag like I did here. Traveling with your art supplies can be a lot stressful unless you have the right bag to pack them in. You need a bag that is not heavy and can contain all your supplies and is easy to move around with. So yep, you should have one of these. Let's do a recap of everything that we've just talked about. We have a sketchbook and pencils to start with, erasers for cleaning, a knife and sharpener for sharpening, pens to help you let go of perfection, a ruler for precision, blending stump for blending, highlighters for some extra fun, white marker for adding highlight and extra detail, a pencil case to help you protect your materials, paints and paint brushes for painting, a palette for thinning and mixing colors, masking tape for creating clean edges, and finally an art bag to hold it all together. Okay, if you got to this point, give this video a thumbs up. Tell us in the comment section which supplies you already have and the ones you're going to get soon. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.